Hello everyone, welcome to another unboxing on iBasiac, another Hoover and another UK made Hoover cleaner. And this is a Sensory, the top of the range of the Hoover Sensory. I believe this is a Hoover Sensory Floormaster, finished in a silver colour. Let's have a look at the box before we open it. The box looks like it's suffered from a bit of damp, so hopefully the vacuum will be okay inside. So here's the details. The boxes of these cleaners are all the same, and Hoover just stuck on a different sticker to denote the model inside. So I do believe that this was the top of the Sensory range. I did used to have one before my vacuum cull. Well, one of my vacuum culls. I had a couple. This was a later cull of vacuum, so I did have this particular model. So yes, it's finished in silver. It's got an electronic rotary power control. It's got a turbo nozzle, good to see. It's also got the parquet caresse nozzle, washable HEPA filter, 2200 watt maximum, so it's 415 air watts of suction, which is quite good. Electronic rotary power control, silent power, no, not silent Hoover, is it? Exhaust HEPA 12 washable filter, pure filter bag, turbo nozzle, parquet caresse, telescopic tube, working radius 9 meters, and the colour is Starburst Satin Silver, and in brackets paint. TS2265 001, gross weight 9.6 kilograms, made in UK. Okay. This is factory sealed. Factory sealed either in Cambuslang, Scotland or Merthyr in Wales. I know that they did start producing some vacuums in Merthyr towards the end of Hoover's production in the UK. I have a feeling the Sensory was one of them. I'm not sure though. Any of you, I don't suppose any of you who worked for Hoover are watching this, but if you did work for Hoover on the, I think they called them the pace line, where you assembled these things, can you tell me if you assemble these in Scotland or Wales? Oh, now that's... is it? Oh yes, it is. I was thinking, well, here it is. Get this out first, get this over and done with. The other two Sensory models I've got, I have a 2-in-1 tool. This being the top of the range has the 3-in-1 tool, still a dire, appalling nozzle, especially this part of it. It's like using a mug to vacuum with. It's a ridiculous shape. It's very hard to push. This is a 3-in-1 because, and here's the handle, no suction control. Put the nozzle in this way and you've got your sort of upholstery nozzle. You've got two sliders either side, so you push those. Oh, well, that is a lot different to some of the later ones. That's very soft. Some of the later versions, the Chinese ones, they're quite stiff, but that at least is quite a very, well, it's a very soft brush, but very short, as you can see. But that's nice and soft and delicate, that brush. Put it in this way, and we've got a sort of crevice tool. So, jack of all trades nozzle, master of none. I'd much rather have 3 separate nozzles than that. That was done so it can be stored on board, have it all together. It actually fits on the handle here, look. So as you're using the machine, you do always have the nozzle, so you're not searching in the back of the cupboard for it. Telescopic extension tube. Looks nicely sealed up, so there's no sign of any rust. Good quality, quite heavy tube. Nice action. Here's the caresse nozzle for your hard floors. That's dedicated for hard floors. Now, where are my scissors? What did I do with them? There we go. I knew they couldn't be far away. Here we go. Let's just cut that open and we'll have a look at the caresse nozzle. This should have, I think there used to be horsehair brushes. I don't know how they got hold of the horsehair. Oh, not cut it enough. That's ridiculous. Come on, you've got to come out of the bag, you know. Don't stay in the bag all your life. Come out. We'll find There's nothing to be scared of. Here we go. Bit of cardboard to protect the actual brushes. Different to the caresse nozzle, I have an earlier Hoover Teleos that has a caresse nozzle, but it's completely different to that. It's an unusual shape, isn't it? Nice bit of Hoover branding. Very big brushes. Look at those. Very, very soft. And look at the gaps in between the brushes at the front. So I suspect possibly there'll be no snow ploughing. I'll probably do a demo of this model. I think I will, because it's got all the bells and whistles. It's got the turbo nozzle. I will do a demo. So I'm thinking this may not snow plough because of the big gaps. You've got the felt wheels as well to help protect your more delicate flooring. Caresse. You've also got the little parking bracket thing for putting it on the parking slot or the storage slot on the cleaner itself. Oh good, you also get, this is the turbo nozzle, you also get a regular nozzle too, so it has 3 floor heads, so that's very good. I wish Hoover would do that nowadays. This is a pretty good nozzle. Now this, if you're familiar with Henry Extra, this is basically the same nozzle Henry Extra comes with. It's also the same nozzle I believe the Maytag Satellite or Hoover Constellation came with. It actually has a US patent written on it. So they do seem softer though, these brushes. I'm sure I've got one or had one that much stiffer. They're very, very soft. But that will rotate at high speed and hopefully deal with pet hairs. There's no access to the turbine on this one. With some you'd have a little access door. You will be able to get into it, but it looks like it involves undoing the screws. So that is the turbo nozzle that you get supplied, 2 big wheels on the back, nice smooth running, seems a quality nozzle. And then finally, as far as nozzles go, we have, just pop those back there, we have the main carpet and floor nozzle, and this is the same as I've found on the other Sensory models I've had. Hoover seemed to have always used this particular style. Sometimes it wasn't a two-tone, as you can see it's got a lighter grey and the black, but basically it's the same underside. In fact, if I was to take this cover off, there's another shape of nozzle under this, as far as I can remember. I think, don't quote me on it, but I think there is. This is just basically a top cover, and there's a more basic looking nozzle underneath. You've got some nice Hoover branding on there, as you can see, embossed into the plastic, and of course a foot operated pedal to lower the brush at the front and the squeegee at the back, and again 2 litter pickers. If you've watched many of my videos you'll know that all nozzles look pretty standard, pretty similar, but they do tend to vary in the performance, but they all seem to share certain attributes. They normally have side suction channels, they normally have litter pickers either side of the main nozzle, they normally have a brush at the front and a squeegee at the back, and normally some sort of wheel action going on. Obviously some are far better than others. As far as Hoover goes, that's not a bad nozzle. Here we have a Hoover Sensory specification list, and it just tells you what comes with what. And mine is, you see, active power. There is a little box, it says active power sensor. Now the later Sensories didn't have the active power sensor. That's why Hoover called them Sensory, because they had a sensor in them that would increase the motor power as the bag filled or the dust box filled to maintain the suction. So they did away with that. This is a sort of 2nd generation Sensory. They've all got electronic power control, exhaust washable HEPA filter. Not all of them, the bottom model didn't. That's it, turbo nozzle. Just shows you what comes with what. They never offered the option of a motorised nozzle for the Sensory, not in the UK anyway. They may have done in Europe. Here we have the standard UK instructions. Not very good. I don't like this sort. The sort of line drawings. I won't need to look at those. But you've got a larger little instruction leaflet here to show you how to connect the hose up, etc. Switch the machine on and on and on and off. Right, that's it. Let's take all this gubbins out actually. Remove this. So it's got like, this has helped protect the cleaner a bit more. Looks okay so far. Here's the hose. Just the same as the other sensory hoses I've unboxed. Tapered. It swivels at either end. It's also tapered, so it's wider at the cleaner end than it is at the handle end. And here is the cleaner itself. So I'm pleased with this. Nothing wrong with it, fortunately. The box, you know, when I saw the box and the water damage on it, I was a little bit I think it looks quite nice in the silver. Yep, seems okay, doesn't it? Let's have a look at the rating plate, if we can zoom in on that. Well, not zoom in, just hold it up to the camera. Let's see what it says. So it's Hoover model TS2265 001, serial number 390000159. There's some other numbers here, 0410 0022, made in UK. So maximum is 2200 watts, but it ranges from 17 to 1900 watts. Yeah, that's the Hoover Sensory. Quite pleased. Quite pleased with that one. Let's have a look inside. And we see the bag. It seals. If I was to pull it up this way, it would seal itself. I'll try and get it out of the machine without doing that. Pretty small. H30 super bags this takes. Now, I think the later ones, I think there are cleaners now that take this size bag, and I think they're a fleecier material, I think. This is like a double or triple layered, could be a triple layered bag actually. Still quite small. Pure Filter, where does it say? Oh, it's three layer filter medium. It does have a microfiber layer, it says, to ensure maximum filtration of germs and allergenic substances. Furthermore, Pure Filter provides optimal protection against mold penetration thanks to its excellent properties in separating even the finest particles. Pure Filter ensures the effective protection of the subsequent filter systems, thus clearly extending their service life. Very small though. Now that's fallen. That was the same on another sensory. It wasn't actually positioned. That's the Premotor Filter. That's washable. And that fits just in front of the motor that's dislocated here, you see. There we go. That's fixed. There's a little tab that sticks up, so that is supposed to be located in a certain way and then pushed on. Obviously didn't have time to do it at the factory. Too eager to get home, I expect. There we are. Try and put that in and not trap it. Here's the exhaust HEPA, washable HEPA. You do have a bag check indicator on this particular sensory here. This is your auto, oh there we go. That's a little bit awkward. That's the auto cord rewind. That's the on-off and variable speed control. There is also a little diffuser in the lid. I assume you can wash that as well. Looks a little bit grubby underneath. Now yeah, it does seem a painted finish because it's slightly different finish inside to the outside. So I think it would, if I was to use this machine and scratch it on the outside, it would show up. But that's, even with Miele, I've got a Miele upright that only has a spray finish on it, which is pretty poor really. Some of the earlier Hoover cleaners with a metallic finish, it was the finish was all the way through the plastic. So when you opened it, you could see the metallic finish on the inside as well. It wasn't sprayed on, which was a much better way. But obviously probably more costly, which is why they spray it on these days. So here we have it, Hoover Sensory. All the gubbins printed on here. Floormaster, all floor cleaning system, carpet revitalizer, gentle hard floor cleaning, silent power, washable HEPA filter, got the Hoover logo here. And that's obviously where the bag check indicator illuminates. So, there we are. Let's pop the hose in position. Yes, I think I will do a full demo of this one. As I say, I have two other sensory cleaners, which I will probably keep unused. But because this one does have the extra tools, I think I will use this one. So you can at least see a sensory in action. I will demonstrate it with all the tools, so you'll see it with the regular head, the turbo head, all the tools, the hard floor nozzle of course. Let's pull out the flex then, give it a go. Everything's fine so far, which is a miracle. Not used to opening vacuum cleaners of late that have had nothing wrong with them. Fingers crossed, touch wood. Oh, let's reach over and touch some wood. There we go. I think that's mahogany behind me. It's a little bit, ooh, listen to that. Oh dear, I spoke too soon. Ooh, I don't like the sound of that. I think something's dried out in there. Wonder how you get into this. I think it could probably do a little bit of grease on the mechanism. Ooh. Yes, I know. It's protesting at every pull. There we are. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, let's plug it in. Did I show you the plug? It's round and the flex is flat. I don't know if it's going to turn on when I plug it in. No. Okay, let's see. Now, the last time I turned one of these on, I assumed I had it on the low setting and I turned it that way. And I think that way, I don't know. I'll turn it on. It should have, no matter what setting it's on, it should have a slow start up. So it should start off slowly and then obviously ramp up to full power. Well, this time I do have it on lowest power, and it does make a rumbling noise. I found this with sensories. When you have it, the lower you have them on the suction control, on the lowest setting, and as you turn it up, I don't know if you can quite detect, there's a rumble. It's quite faint, I'm not sure if you can hear it. Let's turn it up anyway. Wow, that's one heck of a suck. Good suction. Over 400 air watts is good. Obviously that will reduce as the bag fills, but it's not going to reduce by a huge amount. Not unless you're picking up very, very fine dust. Right, it's set on maximum power now, so let's just check that it does ramp up. I don't think it's going to start off in full power. I do think it will ramp up. That's got one of the slowest ramp ups I've ever experienced on a vacuum cleaner. It takes quite a few seconds, doesn't it, to get to full whack. It's a feature that is supposed to protect the motor, because if there's a lot of cheaper cleaners, when you switch them on, if they're fixed suction, you switch them on and they're on straight away, full power, and you can see a definite jolt, which possibly isn't good for the motor. I don't know about these things really. But obviously there must be something in it, because why build that feature in? This has soft start. I've got some other more expensive vacuums that do that start off a bit softer. Even if it's just a degree below the full power, they do sort of start slower and then, you know, go up to full speed. But that one does take the biscuit as far as the time it takes. Okay, that's the Hoover Sensory Floormaster. Let's unwind the flex, or not unwind it, wind it up again. Not sure what this is going to be like. I do need to see if I can get inside this, and I think some sort of lubrication is in order to make that a little bit smoother. I don't think this is going to work too well. Oops. Who knows, with use and with the heat of the motor, there might be some grease in there that's just got just a bit hard, you know, from storage. It might, pardon me, it might soften up, you know, with use. This is pretty run-of-the-mill cord rewind. For being stored so long, obviously it's not going to work very well straight off. Hoover never got their cord rewinds very well, and they never seem to be able to rewind the cord as well as, say, an Electrolux cleaner of the period. I've unboxed, I think if it's not on my channel now, it will be. I've unboxed an Electrolux 330, a vintage cleaner with auto cord rewind, and that, despite the fact it was so old, the cord rewind worked flawlessly on that machine. So there we go, that's the Hoover Sensory Floormaster. Please stay tuned, please subscribe, because I will be doing a demo of this. Let's push you to the back so we can show everything. There's the turbo nozzle, there's the caresse nozzle, there's the regular carpet and floor nozzle, and of course the 3-in-1 multi-tool. I'm thinking, where's that from? Oh, are we seeing double here? What's going on there, Roger? What you can't see in front of the camera, because it's all smoke and mirrors on my channel, behind me, well, to the side of me, there's 2 boxes just strewn about. There's another Sensory that I unboxed earlier. So I'm getting the tools mixed up. No, that belongs with that one. Okay, that's it. So this is for another Sensory, a Sensory dust manager. That will be coming up on my channel if it's not already on my channel. So obviously it came with exactly the same head, but the other machine, the dust manager model, didn't come with the turbo or the caresse, and it only comes with a 2-in-1 multi-tool instead of this 3-in-1. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please thumbs up if you've liked this video, and don't forget, please check my back catalogue. You will find hundreds of different vacuum cleaner and carpet washer and other floor care demonstrations on my channel iBasiac. So until the next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.